Alrighty then, we have one bar. Successful Indie Author 5 Minute Focus, episode 305. And hopefully this works. Generally, with one bar, it does not. Detox your rating. Redundancy. Redundancy is not your friend. Repetitiveness is not your friend. Use a word like discombobulate, and then 2 sentences later, use that word again. That's not your friend. It reads difficult. It isn't as smooth as it could be. So when you use a 50 Kopeck word like discombobulate, then you only want to use it once in the whole book. So 70,000, 80,000, 150,000 words, one time, that's good on the 50 Kopeck words. And that detoxifies your writing. Falling down. If you're in a fight and you're falling, there's no other place you're going to go other than down. And we're not talking space fights where you might get thrown, but then why would you say down if it's a space fight? Pushing up, well, pushing could be different ways, so you might want to clarify that. Make sure it's clear to the reader and move on. Smooth the prose. And this is one thing that I do when I reread. I'll come to the natural stopping point of a sentence, but then I'll have a few more words. So if you naturally come to an end, see if you need the rest of the words at the end of the sentence. So on that one, I could have stopped at words, because when you naturally come to the end of a thought, let it end and move on. And if it flows, they'll keep you. They're going to stop. That's like in your narrative, when you add really, clearly, honestly, those are words that you might speak out loud, and they don't add any value. They're just extra words. Honestly, why would you ever say honestly in the narrative itself? You haven't been honest to this point? Well, of course you haven't. It's fiction. And in nonfiction, why would you ever say honestly? Why would you lie to them in nonfiction? So that's not a word that should ever find its way into your writing, or even in your vocalizations and your conversations with other human beings. Honestly, why? Don't lie. And then you don't have to say honestly, because then that says everything else is a lie. So detoxify really clearly. Reader saying, well, obviously it's this. Well, if it was so obvious, then you don't need to say that. Because competitiveness, and you want to do that. Don't insult your readers. Let them see the scene, let them see the action play out, let them feel the emotions that you're trying to convey, and then move on. Anything less is toxic. Arrive late and leave early. This is in the Write Compelling Fiction, Larry Martin harped on this. It's coming into a scene without that long scene setup, and then you jump into the action, and then you have a long post-action diatribe. Try to avoid that stuff. Enter late, leave early. So enter late. You get just enough setup that then the action makes sense. The characters, what they're doing makes sense, and then move on. And once the action is done, close it out and do the tie-in to the next scene. And that's all you have: scenes, you have transitions, and you have more scenes. You have conflict, you have resolution. Conflict resolution within the scene, transition, more conflict resolution. And then you keep doing that throughout the whole book, and all of a sudden you're done and you've got a story. Post-action diatribe, where the football game lasts 2 hours and the setup lasts 2 hours, and then the post-game analysis lasts 6 hours. It gets a little bit tiresome. And that's why you can check your phone and do all this other stuff while all of that is going on, because you're not really paying attention. And that's what people will do to your book if you have those long setups and long after actions once a sequence is ended. Take it that the readers understand what's going on, that they got it, and then move them into the next scene and keep it rolling, keep it moving forward. That's less toxic writing, and that will keep readers in your book. Don't ever give a reader a reason to put your book down. All right, there. Detoxify your writing. Read it aloud, see how it is. Read stuff that you like and see how their reading flows, and then make yours kind of look like that. Don't add the extra words when you don't need to. All right, people.